is that? Because we have to start with food. So
Yeah,
what
my
is
my
something that you
my
have?
kids my kids like to make like homemade juices, and this is okay. So they made like a little fruit punch thing today. So I'm sipping on that today.
Okay, and which kind of fruits?
I don't even know. I think it was like an apple and mango thing that they did, and they just kind of mash it all up together and they go, "Here you go, Bella." So that's what I'm drinking today.
But it's amazing. I mean, it's so great that you have your kids and they cook for you or something, and if they taste something a
Yeah,
poison.
definitely fatherhood is something that I never realized how much would mean to me. I grew up with a dad that was working all the time.
Yeah.
The classic immigrant story of someone coming over, working 3 jobs just to provide for his family. And you grow up thinking like, oh, my dad was never around, but you realize he was working to feed you and to put clothes on you. And I'm fortunate enough that even though we're on the road traveling enough, I've kind of figured out the balance of life where I'm able to spend as much time with them and do stuff with them and make sure that they're the number one priority, and everything else just kind of falls in line.
And it's amazing that you have the chance and the opportunity to write a new story with your family and your kids. Congratulations about that. And good
Oh,
job.
thank you. Yeah, we're a busy house. There's 3 kids. The youngest is will be 6 months. Then my oldest is 8 years old, and my son he'll be 5 in a few weeks. Oh yeah,
Okay. Oh
yeah,
my
we're a
God.
big house. Yeah.
Okay. So I need a few seconds to translate all of this to the people.
Mm.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah. If I would help you if I could, but
A ver, gente, pues ya saben, estamos echando la chorcha a gustísima mañanera, donde yo le estaba preguntando, ¿qué onda? O sea, ¿por qué salió con el juguito? Y le dije, ¿de dónde salió ese juguito? Y resulta que sus hijos lo hicieron para él. Cada mañana sus hijos traen algo bueno, algo nuevo, y aparte lo que me encanta es que me dijo, este no está tan mal, no sabemos qué es, pero le permite a sus hijos como darle este chance de poder hacer un jugo para él, ¿no? Porque él me estaba comentando que él no tuvo esa oportunidad con su papá. Su papá, al ser inmigrante, pues él tenía que trabajar todo el tiempo para poder sacar a la familia adelante. Entonces él ha querido escribir una historia nueva con sus 3 pequeños. Uno que tiene 8, otro que tiene 6 meses, y el más bebecito, y la otra, no me acuerdo, pero sí. O sea, son 3 bebés que tenemos por ahí que le da todo el punch. Qué bonito. Ahora sí, vámonos con lo siguiente. So,
man, what a beautiful language. Oof.
oh, thank you so much. Do
Seriously.
you understand some words in Spanish?
No, I don't even want to act like, oh yeah, I know. No, and I'll learn something and I'll forget it. Like in high school, I took French.
Okay.
I don't know a word in French now, like maybe a phrase here and there. So yeah, I'm not really good at retaining information for a long term. But no, it's such a beautiful language, honestly.
But I think if you know some words in French, I think it's not that complicated in Spanish because they're like similar languages.
I don't remember a word. I will embarrass myself. Yeah, so trust me, I barely get by with English.
Okay. Okay, so, perfecto. Pues estamos ahorita hablando acerca de que me dijo, ay, qué padre está el idioma. Le dije, ¿sabes algunas palabras en español? No, no sé nada. Estudié francés, pero aún así no me acuerdo. Así que no vamos a hablar de nada. But I know that maybe it's a word that you know. Taco.
Taco. Yes, I know that one.
It's a great beginning, right?
It's a great beginning. I started somewhere, so I know a little bit now. I feel better. Thank you.
Okay. So, talking about tacos, do you have any cheat meal?
My and a lot of my fans know this. My number one like go-to item is Nutella, like chocolate Nutella. I put it on everything. So if I go get donuts, if I go get any sort of pastries, if I go get crepes, anything, I'll just take a jar of Nutella and I'll scoop the Nutella out and I'll put it on, not just like once, I put it on each bite. So yeah, I have a huge problem when it comes to Nutella. Nutella should go ahead and sponsor me at some point. I'll like maybe put the Nutella logo on my gear or something like that. But yeah, I'm a huge Nutella fan. That's my go-to. I could put it on anything, honestly.
Ok, pues ¿qué creen? Que es un fan de la Nutella. Le encanta ponerle Nutella a todo lo que sea posible. Entonces dijo, yo, o sea, no solo le pongo poquita, no, le pongo a todo lo que como, a todo lo que, o sea, a todas las cosas como dulcecitas que se comen. Ya sabemos cuál será la mejor forma de conquistarlo, ¿verdad? Ahora que vayamos. So, now let's talk about WWE. Okay?
Let's go.
So it's been a little over a week since the rivalry between you and Theory began, and we know that for everything from this guy, right? But you always can expect surprises with him. How do you feel that night of the Red Show?
Yeah, everything kind of came together last minute, and I was kind of eyeing the roster up and down. And I've been making a lot of jokes about Theory and taking my shots at him, but the reality of the situation is a guy like Theory and a guy like me, I feel like it's a story that everyone can relate to. There's a guy in Theory that is, no doubt an amazing competitor, but he's gotten to the head of the line by kissing up to the boss, by cutting corners, and by being that suck up, that corporate employee, the perfect model employee, the one that'll go tattletale behind your back. And we all know a guy like that or a girl like that, the one that'll do anything to get ahead in the corporate world. And then there's a guy like me that calls it right down the middle. If I think it's bull crap, I'll say it's bull crap. If I say no, I'll say no. I'm that guy that'll keep it, I have to be true to myself at all times. And I feel like if you look at our careers, that's been one of the defining factors. Theory is the youngest United States champion in WWE history. I have been with the company almost 6 years now and have never held a championship, but I'm widely regarded as one of the best in-ring performers that we have. So when you compare the two, to me, that's the glaring difference. And I think that's the story that we're trying to tell. There's one guy that is the corporate suck up, and then there's another guy that's not. And that's the story we're trying to tell. So when I came back, I knew that's who I was lining up. That's who my eyes was on, is Theory and the United States Championship.
Okay. Wow.
Sorry, I know that was a lot. Sorry.
No. Okay. I will do my best. Okay. Perfecto.
You got this.
Pues la pregunta ahorita fue, sabemos perfecto que hace unas semanas la rivalidad contra Austin Theory comenzó y le dije, bueno, pero ¿cómo te sentiste ahora que regresaste al show rojo? Y él me dijo, bueno, a ver, o sea, estuvo increíble, pero la verdad es que existen varios tipos de superestrellas y de tipos, ¿no? Por ejemplo, Theory, que ¿cómo lo puedo decir dulcemente? Pues básicamente que le hace ojitos al jefe para que se haga su voluntad y es el chismoso del grupo, por así decirlo. A pesar de que reconoce que es una gran superestrella, un gran atleta, que ha sido históricamente el campeón más joven que ha tenido WWE, ¿sí? Pero también está Mustafa, o sea, que es una persona que cuando no le gustan las cosas, él va a decir lo que no le gusta y a quien le guste. Y si no le gusta, pues va a pasar lo que pasó con Austin Theory. Entonces, me encantó esto que no te metas conmigo y yo voy a decir lo que pienso de ti. Así deberíamos de ser todos. Dicho está. Muy bien.
Perfect. Nailed it. Exactly.
Okay. I think I did well, right?
You did awesome. Not well, awesome. You did awesome. I'm sure you did.
Perfect. Now, we saw that the Miz has you in his sights. Yeah. What is going on with him?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it was just a happy accident in the sense that when I returned to Raw, I clearly stated that I wanted an opportunity against Theory and the United States Championship, and Theory kind of threw the Miz in the way. And at the end of the day, I think the Miz's issue is that he's just embarrassed that I beat him. He went for the figure four. I was able to reverse the figure four and beat him. And Miz is a multi-time WWE champion. He's no doubt going to be a future Hall of Famer, one of the best in the game today. But Mustafa Ali beat him, So I think that's hanging over his head, and because of that, he's joined up with Theory, and they're trying to make my life a living hell. But if you look at it, the past few weeks they've been pretty successful. But if you really break it down, I beat the Miz. The following week they set up a handicap match, and I almost beat the both of them. It took the both of them with some underhanded tactics to beat me. Then the following week, the Miz is the special guest referee. Once again, underhanded tactics. But even in that match, I had Ciampa pinned 3 times in one match. So these guys think they're going to break my spirit, and they're not. I'm at an all-time high. I'm feeling myself. I am in the bag. I am good to go. I am going to be the next United States champion. So Theory can duck and dodge, and he can throw Miz my way. He can throw Ciampa my way. It's fine. I fought bigger. I fought better, and I've beaten them. And I will become the United States champion. That was good, right? That's good. I was feeling myself a little bit there. Okay.
Great, a ver, me encanta, porque estábamos hablando acerca del Miss, que se metió en su camino y no sé qué. Entonces me dijo, mira, o sea, yo sé perfecto que el Miss ahorita pues lo está yendo muy bien y que en todo lo que respecta a ser una superestrella de WWE, él lo tiene. Sin embargo, se quiso meter conmigo y lo que quiere es romper mi espíritu. Pero ¿qué crees? Así me pongas al Miss, y así me pongas a Champa, y así me pongas a quien me pongas, yo soy mucho mejor que ellos. Y yo los voy a romper a ellos. Entonces ya lo sabemos. Así haga lo que haga de Miss, Mustafa no se va a partir a la mitad. Eso está increíble. So, you mentioned Champa. Let's talk about him because it was supposed to be just you against him, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel in that match?
Well, one, when I feel a lot of things, everyone asks, why does Champa keep attacking me? You know, and I think the reality is, you know, Champa sees a guy like me with all this luscious, gorgeous hair just flowing, and he doesn't have any. And I think that's one part. The other part is he could just be really hangry. He could be hungry and angry at the same time. Have you seen the guy? He's ripped. He obviously hasn't had a Snickers in like 5 years. You know, so I think a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of Nutella might calm him down a little bit, control that rage of his. So I really don't know. I don't know. I think it's because he's bald and because he's hungry. And, you know, I can't do anything about the hair, but I can give him a Snickers. That's all I can do for it. So I don't know what Champa's deal is.
Oh my God!
I can't wait for you to translate that.
Wow! ¿Cómo traducir todo lo que me acaba de decir de Champa? A ver, pues está increíble porque me dijo, es la primera vez que...
Like, the fans love it. They're all laughing. I love it.
Of course. It was a great answer. A ver.
Sorry.
Pues estábamos hablando de cómo se sintió ahora con Champa en el combate que tuvo y me dijo, a ver, yo no sé cuál es el problema de Champa. Bueno, sí, quizás sí lo sepa. Es mi cabello, porque mi cabello es muy frondoso y muy increíble y él no tiene cabello. Entonces, quizás por ahí comenzó el problema. Y pues yo no puedo hacer nada en contra de eso. Lo que sí es que mi arma increíble y que nunca falla, pues es el Nutella, como había dicho. O aventarle también unos sneakers para que no se enoje tanto, ¿verdad? Entonces, básicamente lo resumimos en ese punto. Así lo vamos a dejar. So, Mustafa, your first WrestleMania was the 34.
Yeah.
In the finals of a 16-man WWE Cruiserweight weight championship. So I want to know how was your experience because I have to confess that it was an incredible match.
Yo, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I got the opportunity to wrestle Cedric Alexander at the Cruiserweight Classic. The Cruiserweight Championship finals, and I believe that was New Orleans. Yeah, and it was so many weird elements to it. John Cena's in the crowd watching us wrestle, and we didn't know about that till like a little bit before the match. We're like, oh, by the way, Cena's gonna be watching you guys wrestle. We're like, oh, great, no pressure. And obviously it's WrestleMania, you know, it's what you dreamed about ever since you were a child, and literally WrestleMania is something that I think about all the time. It's what everyone in the business strives to do and to perform at in some capacity. And it's the only time in my entire career. I've been wrestling since I was 16. So I've been wrestling for like 18, 19 years now. And I get like good nervous. Like I want to do well, but I don't get like nervous where I'm like, oh, I don't think I can do it. I get nervous in the sense like, oh, I hope this goes well. But this WrestleMania, this match is the only time ever that I felt like my heart beating out of my chest, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think this is too big, you know, because it was the first time I was wearing like this light up mask and I had like lasers shooting, and it was like this big deal for me. Yeah. And I just kind of remember like, this is too, what if I mess up? Like, you know, what if I don't do well? The whole world's watching tonight. And it was the first time it really got to me. And luckily, one of my good friends that works there, he's a referee named Jason Ayers. He kind of saw it getting to me. And he kind of pulled me aside, and he had to remind me who I was. He's like, dude, you worked for this. You're supposed to have fun today. And he reminded me about my family and my dreams and whatever. He's like, don't get caught up in the moment. Enjoy the moment. And if it wasn't for him, I definitely think I would have like kind of wrapped myself up in my head. But because of that little conversation, that little pep talk, I was able to kind of like refocus, almost kind of like hit like reset. You know, I'm like, okay, wait, I got this, You know, and we went on, we killed it. Yeah, and people still, it means a lot that people still bring up that match. You know, because it was on the kickoff show, it was a pre-show match, it wasn't a featured match. But dude, I didn't care. It was WrestleMania. It was a sold out crowd. You know, like I said, Cena's watching, and me and Cedric Alexander had 15, 20 minutes just to tear the house down, and we did exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think it was amazing and kind of an angel that the referee that I know that is your friend just came to you and say like, hey, calm down.
Yeah. He was like, come on, game time. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely a blessing. Shout out to Jason.
Okay. We need that kind of, those kind of people around us, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Muy bien, pues ahorita estábamos hablando, no sé si ustedes se acuerdan, y si no se acuerdan próximamente les vamos a poner un video, porque para mí creo que ha sido uno de los mejores matches de WrestleMania, donde Mustafa estuvo, bueno, WrestleMania 34, y le dije, ¿cómo te sentiste en ese momento? Y me dijo, lo voy a resumir así, me dijo, mira, me dijeron, John Cena va a estar por ahí, no te vayas a preocupar. No, pues no te preocupes, o sea, yo voy a estar fresh como una lechuga, porque John Cena está viéndome. Entonces, a partir de ahí me dijo, yo la verdad es que obviamente siempre siento nervios cuando voy a salir a un match. Sin embargo, esta vez los nervios eran tantos que yo decía, o sea, se estaba como boicoteando. En una onda de, no lo voy a poder hacer, no voy a poder lograrlo, ¿qué va a pasar? Y entonces llegó un amigo que es muy amigo de Mustafa, referee, y le dijo, a ver, tú has trabajado toda tu vida para estar en este momento, no tienes por qué preocuparte, solo disfrútalo. No importa nada más, solo disfruta el momento, acuérdate de tu familia, como que les refrescó todas estas ideas en la cabeza y salió y dio un match como el que vimos. Entonces yo le decía, qué chido que tengamos gente así al lado de nosotros, que en vez de que nos hagan caer, nos empuje para salir adelante. Eso se me hace increíble. So, now, Money in the Bank is coming in July in big stadium in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any plan you have up your sleeve that you can share with us?
Well, this time, if I'm in Money in the Bank, and this time if I hear Brock's music, I think I just might grab the briefcase this time. For those who don't know, the last time I was in the Money in the Bank match, Brock Lesnar, who was not in the match, just kind of ran down and knocked out some cameramen and shoved me off the top of the ladder, and then just took the Money in the Bank briefcase because he's Brock Lesnar. I have a whole different approach now with who I am and what I want to do and how I feel about where I should be. So yeah, if I'm in the Money in the Bank match, one way or another, I'm getting that briefcase. Because the way I look at it, that happened back in 2019, and that briefcase should have been mine. So yeah, I really hope things with Theory get resolved soon. I hope I'm the United States champion. I hope I go into Money in the Bank as the U.S. champion. I get the Money in the Bank briefcase. I cash it in, and I just hold all the gold. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Mustafa Ali, the guy that holds all the gold. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. I can see it. It's easy.
Qué bonito, qué bonito. Pues estábamos hablando ahora de Money in the Bank y me dijo, mira, todavía le dije que se nos pueda soltar por ahí una pistita, ¿verdad? Y me dijo, mira, pues todavía no se saben bien las cosas. Sin embargo, si estoy en Money in the Bank, yo voy a hacer todo lo posible, sin importar Brock Lesnar, sin importar nada, que ese briefcase, que ese, ¿cómo se maletín, que ese maletín sea mío, y lo voy a canjear y voy a lograr todo lo que siempre he soñado, porque ya lleva mucho tiempo trabajando en esto. Entonces va a ser el campeón de los Estados Unidos y él va a agarrar el maletín y vamos a verlo todo y vamos a celebrar muchísimo. Va a ser la verdad de él. Van a ver.
She does it so much better than me. I need to be a little more animated. You're perfect.
It's because really, I'm really excited and happy to have you here, and you're very
fun. Thank you. I tried. I was tucked away for a little while, but I'm back.
Okay, so let's talk about the early years of Mustafa Ali. How do you start in this business, and how do you start in WWE?
A little bit of a kind of a complicated story, so I'll condense it a bit. like I said, I started wrestling when I was 16, but I did that while going to school, while having jobs, and not to make it a sob story or anything like that, but my dad's health wasn't always the best.
Yeah.
So the older we got, his health would deteriorate, and it kind of demanded more of me and my two older brothers to kind of help out in ways. For those that don't know, my dad was like on dialysis, so we'd have to empty out his dialysis bags, and we would eventually get his leg amputated, so we kind of had to help him up and down the stairs, medicine, food, you get the gist of it. And that became very time consuming. And when you're a wrestler and you're trying to kind of grow in the ranks, so to speak, you have to travel and go out more. You have to go to different states, different countries sometimes. And so work and income was very important to me at that time, because as my dad's health deteriorated, obviously he couldn't work as much. So, the sons had to step up and help provide and run the house and take care of our mom. So I was kind of hesitant, because a lot of times in wrestling, when you're coming up, you don't make money. Sometimes you even lose money, but you go out for exposure and experience. So it came to the point where I was kind of losing money wrestling, and I had to kind of pull back and ask for more money, and promoters just weren't willing to pay that much at the time. And then also the other conflicting issue was, this was several years ago. Back then, someone named Mustafa Ali wasn't a good guy. My name and my religion defined me in the world of pro wrestling and entertainment. So if I wanted to be a part of the show, I had to be the bad guy. I had to be an evil foreigner that was wishing harm upon America. And I had to pay a racial stereotype. And for the longest time, I tried to fight it. Something I'm not proud of. Eventually, I caved in, and I did do it. And the success was almost immediate. And you could tell this is what people understood and people wanted out of me. And then eventually, I got to the point where I just didn't want to do it anymore, because I saw that I was reinforcing negative stereotypes about my people, and not good, not innocent ones, very bad. Because I truly believe sometimes we don't understand entertainment and the way people are represented. People sometimes create a picture of you, and they take that into the real world. I have kids in school now. I don't want them name called and made fun of because of where they're from or what their name is. That's ludicrous to me. So why would I, as an entertainer, help grow that? I want to help eliminate that. I want to get rid of that.
Yes.
Nobody, I feel, should judge you based on your name and your nationality. To me, it's about intention, actions, who you are as a human being. That's what you judge someone on, and that's it. So a lot was going on with family, with this personal thing, and wrestling was just a mess. And I kind of made up my mind that I was on the way out. And then an opportunity did come up in the Cruiserweight Classic. And I was kind of more or less like, let me go. And then it got worse, because then I found out that I'm not a competitor at the Cruiserweight Classic. I'm just an alternate. I'm a backup. And I was like, well, how many backups are there? I think they said like 10 or 15. So the chances of me even doing something were very slim. But, I'm very lucky, because the trainer at the time that I was working with, I asked him, what should I do? And he kind of looked at me like I was an idiot. He's like, you have to go. And I go, why? He goes, because if you have a chance, you're going to show them, But he's like, you don't have the chance if you don't go. And it was just the simplicity behind that, So I went, and like he said, I had a chance. An opening happened. I had a match with Lince Dorado, and we tore it up. And that opportunity led to more opportunities, which eventually landed to me having a conversation with Triple H. And it was weird, again, because Triple H was kind of signing the cruiserweights at the time, but I didn't get a contract. And I remember I kind of went up to him, and I was like, I'm going to figure this out, because I've been up there a few times. And I kind of went up to him and go, hey, like, when you know. Like, am I not good enough? How many times are you going to bring me back? Or, And Triple H goes, well, there's so many dogs, and I can only give up so many bones. It's a timing thing. And I was like, okay, he's just telling me to go away. Yeah. Later that week, I got a call that we'd like to assign you to a full-time deal with WWE. So it was a very long journey there, but I wouldn't trade it, because at the end of the day, I was there for my family. I think I did my dad proud. I stuck to who I was, and here I am talking to you, lovely folks.
Thank you so much for your words, because I don't know, you opened your heart.
It was a lot. I'm sorry. Yeah,
No, no,
I
no, 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 no.
apologize.
It was perfect. I mean, thank you so much for your honesty and everything because we need to hear those kind of things. It's the kind of
Yeah.
behind of the superstars. And for us, for example, as Latinos, I think we need that push, you know, just to say like you have to be proud of yourself, of your culture, and it's not about your culture or where you're from. It's about your
Yeah.
talent and the way that you're doing the things.
Yeah.
We are human beings trying to catch our dreams. And thank you so much because I have to confess that I think it's the first interview that I feel like the superstar is opening himself like in a real
Oh no, I appreciate that, and I honestly I can't reiterate that point enough. Like you can be proud of your culture, you can be proud of where you're from, but it shouldn't define you. You know, like for me to say that you can only do this role because someone like you wouldn't be here. Like that's let the best person win. Let the best talent win. Let your heart and your hard work show. That's the only thing that should define you as far as what you're capable of doing. That's it. Everything else is just like we kind of make it up, you know. So I appreciate the positive feedback, and I see all the fans reacting good too to it. So thank you for letting me spill my heart out here.
wow. Okay, now I need to translate. Venga.
Good luck with that.
Wow. Wow, ojalá de verdad que todos podamos, o sea, que todos vayan cachando un poco porque este mensaje necesita ser repartido por todas las redes sociales. Básicamente pregunté acerca de cómo había sido su vida antes de llegar al business, ¿no? O sea, la onda de la lucha y cómo llegó también a ser superestrella de WWE. Y me dijo que, bueno, tuvo que enfrentarse a un montón de cosas y es padrísimo que lo sepan, porque no para todos ha sido tan fácil, ¿no? Él, pues cuando él empezó a los 16 años, sin embargo, su papá cayó enfermo y él tenía, o sea, el deber era como de estar ahí con él, apoyando. Y a veces en esta industria, pues pierdes dinero en vez de ganar dinero. Y él le puso todo el empeño para poder lograr sus sueños. Sin embargo, cuando estaba en la industria, desafortunadamente existen todavía estos prejuicios de que te juzgan dependiendo de quién eres, la clase social, de dónde vienes, tu religión. Entonces, a través de eso, tuvo que aguantar, ¿no? Cosas que no le gustaban, siendo como, o sea, le pusieron una etiqueta que él ya no quería más. Y una etiqueta que no lo definía y no define a nadie. Entonces, él decidió como dejarlo de lado y seguir adelante. Sin embargo, cuando tuvo la oportunidad y vio la oportunidad de WWE, como que no podía confiar que sería capaz de lograr tanto, ¿no? Desafortunadamente creo que a veces las etiquetas es lo que nos pasa, como que olvidamos las cosas de nuestra mente, de lo que somos capaces. Y gracias a otro angelito, está lleno de ángeles, Mustafa, y ese ángel le dijo, a ver, esta es tu oportunidad, ve a hacerlo. Entonces habló con Triple H, vio Triple H todo lo que tenía, el repertorio que tenía, y Triple H le dijo, bueno, quizás. Y Mustafa dijo, bueno, pues ya no, vamos a ver cuándo, ¿no? Pum, le hablaron por teléfono y ahí estaba la oportunidad. Entonces ya lo saben, el mensaje es clarísimo, yo podría estar platicando más de lo que me acaba de decir porque es gigante. Sin embargo, no dejes que tu cultura, tu religión, nada te defina. Te defines por lo que haces, por tus sueños y de la manera en la que llegas a ello, ¿ok? So,
Okay, perfect. Yeah, killed it. That was.
we have seen and mentioned right here some of your greatest opponents. However, I would love to hear from you. Who was being the strongest opponent you had a match with?
Oh man. Well, like 90% of the time I'm in the ring, the guys are bigger than me. So everyone's pretty strong
Yeah.
to me. You know, he's no longer with the company, but Buddy Murphy, who goes by Buddy Matthews now, is probably my favorite opponent to work with. We just had the best chemistry in the ring. Most of that work was done on 205 Live, but when we got to do it on SmackDown, it just bigger audience, bigger feel, and one of my favorite matches with him. Another one of my favorite opponents that I had, probably one of my favorite matches I had that I don't think it's kind of like a random match that people don't really think about. But it was, I think it was like the quarterfinals of the King of the Ring tournament in like 2019. And it was me versus Ezekiel's older brother, Elias. And man, I don't know where Elias is up to, but I wish him well. But me and him had a really, really, really good match. It was the first time we've ever wrestled each other. So yeah, I would love to do it. Like, and if Elias doesn't come back, I would love to do something with his younger brother Ezekiel. But yeah, I think Elias was someone that didn't get enough props while he was here. And then, as far as like, I think the biggest test as far as being in the ring with someone like Randy Orton, timing, strength, speed. Randy is a very, very large man. He's a very large man, but he has such speed and snap with everything he does. And me being the younger guy, I thought I had him, dead to rights when it came to speed. But I would circle around and he's right there with the power slam or with his DDT, and eventually I took it RKO. But yeah, Randy Orton probably has to be the toughest opponent I've ever wrestled.
Okay, bueno, pues la
By the way, I did counter the RKO. I don't know if everyone remembers. I kind of countered it.
Ok, perfecto.
Just throwing that out there, Randall.
Muy bien, pues estaba preguntándole acerca de quién ha sido su oponente como el más rudo, ¿no? Por así decirlo. Y me dijo, bueno, he tenido varios, cada vez que me ponen con uno es una historia distinta y una historia chida. Sin embargo, pues de tiempo que ya no está por acá, Buddy Murphy, ¿no? Mencionó también, por ejemplo, el hermano mayor de Ezekiel. Dijo que era increíble, que esperaba tener un match pronto también con el hermano menor, con Ezekiel. Y también dijo, pero espérense, o sea, creo que de lo más cañón que he tenido es con Randy Orton. O sea, porque no solamente, luego los hombres, las superestrellas altas, pues pueden ser medio lentas, pero él tiene todo, velocidad, lo tiene todo. Entonces, ha sido uno de los oponentes como más, sí, duro. So, now, monster questions. A dream match.
Oof. Right now, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Okay, so
Yeah.
dream match, Cody Rhodes. Perfecto. Who was your biggest influence in this business? Bret Hart!
The GOAT. He's the GOAT.
I love your t-shirt.
Thank you. Roots of Fight, yeah. But Bret the Hitman Hart is, to this day, you can watch his matches and learn so much, and I think he's the best to ever do it.
Sí, bueno, Bret Hart ha sido su inspiración. So, would you like to wrestle sometime here in Mexico?
I would love to. That was one of the saddest things I feel so far about my live event schedules. I haven't had the privilege to come to Mexico under the WWE banner to perform, because you always hear about how passionate the crowds are, and we get to do a lot of overseas travel, and it's always like I love the overseas tours, but I want to go in because Mexico itself has such a rich history of lucha libre wrestling, and I want to go everywhere. I want to go to the arenas. I want to go see a CML show and a Triple H show. I want to take all the culture in and walk the streets, and I see the lucha libre, the luchadors that do the stuff in the streets. Like I want to see all of it, and embrace the culture and go taste the food and go dance in the streets. I want to do everything. So yes, I can't wait till WWE eventually comes to Mexico. Please take me with you.
Of course. Next time, I will show you the best tacos place, tostadas, ceviche, micheladas.
I'm hungry already.
Everything.
Okay, I'm hungry already. I'm down.
Perfecto. Muy bien. So, are you ready for the fan questions?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Perfecto. A ver, entonces vámonos por acá. Y dice, cancelar. Esto por aquí, así. A ver, wow.
No, fans. I will not tell you my hair care routine. No, I won't tell you how to have luscious, lavish hair like mine. No. I just got it, okay?
This one. What is your advice for an independent wrestler like to be successful like you? By the way, you are my biggest inspiration in the wrestling
world. Well, one, my man, you need a bigger inspiration than me, but I appreciate that. As far as making it, honestly, anyone that tells you that this is how to do it, like A, B, C, there's a formula, I feel like they're wrong. There is no formula. There was a time where I was told I was too small. You know, now there's a time where I'm considered I'm too old. There's guys that come from non-wrestling backgrounds that have a faster track of success, but there's also guys from non-wrestling backgrounds that come in and fail miserably because they just can't gravitate to it. It is different. I can't tell you, there is no formula. You know, it's at the end of the day, figure out who you are and how can you amplify that to be entertaining. That's your best. That's the best piece of advice I can give to you. It's not always just about the entertainment or just about the wrestling. It's this healthy balance of both. But how do you make both wildly entertaining that people that don't know you can look at you and be like, who's that guy? That's the best piece of advice I can give you.
I think it's the best advice. And it works in in all the areas in your life, right? You have to know.
Yeah.
Perfecto. Pues aquí la pregunta fue, ¿qué onda? Por favor, dame un consejo, porque yo soy un luchador independiente y me gustaría ser tan exitoso como tú. Tú eres mi gran inspiración. Y entonces, Mustafa le dijo, a ver, la verdad, sorry, my friend, pero no hay como fórmula de, tienes que hacer A, B, C para poder lograr al D. Aquí, a él le han dicho muchas veces que está muy chaparrito, que está muy viejo, que está muy X. Lo único que sí, el secreto es que te debes conocer muy bien para poder explotar eso que tú tienes y que la gente cuando voltee y te vea y te diga, órale, ¿quién es esa persona? Yo quiero saber quién es esa persona. Entonces, ese es el consejo y me parece que está buenísimo aplicarlo en cada una de las áreas de nuestra vida. A ver, this is the last one. Wow, a lot of...
I told you guys, no, I won't tell you about my hair care routine. What is it, guys? It just grows. What do you want me to do? Jeez, sorry.
No, it's okay. But I need to know the routine as well.
Okay. I'll tell you later once we're off.
So this one. Your opinion about Humberto.
Humberto! Man, Humberto, so here's the thing about Humberto. It's really, really funny. I'm sure you all know this. He's a very good looking man. He's got dimples for days, right? So we'd always joke about like no one's allowed to hit Humberto in the face. Like it's a rule. Like it doesn't matter what's going on. Don't you dare put a blemish on that man's face. Humberto, if you're watching, I promise you, if I wrestle you, I'm going to punch you in the face. Because I'm sick of everyone talking about how beautiful you are. Look, you got me talking about how beautiful you are. This is my IG live. It's me and her. WWS Espanol. I'm supposed to be talking about me. But here we are talking about Humberto and his dimples. So, Humberto, if I see you, I'm punching you in the face, okay? That's my opinion about Humberto. He's way too beautiful. That's my opinion about Humberto.
Ok, la opinión acerca de Humberto. Humberto está bien guapo. Así, básicamente, es un niño bonito y que la siguiente vez que lo vea, le va a pegar en su cara bonita. Así. Esa fue la cosa que dijo. Yo no dije nada. Okay?
Too pretty, man. He's too pretty.
It's too pretty, yes. And he's really nice.
Yeah, he's really nice looking. Yeah, I know. Nice.
Okay. So, Mustafa, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your words. Thank you because you opened your heart with us, and I'm really grateful with you. Thank you.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for everyone that is joining. And I was reading your guys' comments while she was translating.